Hello friends, it's Chromatic and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be finishing up my sunflower tattoo. So yeah, finishing up the color. I think we're working on the background, the circles in the background. Sorry, it's like really windy outside. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah, we're finishing up the circles in the background, filling in the hexagons, and then all the yellow and like finishing touches. So this one's going to be the most satisfying one of the series, I hope. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, so maybe I'll be talking about something less interesting, but let's just hop right in. Oh, like I usually say, don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what types of videos you'd like to see next. Would you like to see me drawing, like putting together a design like this? I don't know, like a design process. I can't imagine it'll be a very successful video, but if people want to watch it, I'm freaking down. It's just a little bit different to film, so I would need to know. So I started out, I was trying to, this is the part that I said in the last video that was like a little bit of a challenge. I don't know if I would have designed this exactly like this if I designed it today, if that makes sense. Like all these little circles in the design. I thought it was really cute, and I'm actually very happy with how it turned out. I just probably would have done it a different way. Like I would have tried to do the design in a different way if I designed it today. If you didn't watch any of the last videos, I designed this back whenever I first started tattooing. Like it was one of my first like bigger designs that I put out. It might have been like a year in, but at this point I'm 3 years in, so I'm definitely a lot more capable. Definitely happy I got to do it at this stage in my career. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I don't know if I would have been quite as happy if I did it all the way back then. Never really had a chance to do it, so it worked out, and I got to do it on a client that is very nice, and I've known her for a long time. So yeah, I just went in with pink. I don't know if I think I used like Lollipop, and I might have used Bubblegum from Solid Ink. I maybe could have used something with like a higher contrast, but in the reference, it was like a lot of lighter pink circles, and they did kind of blur together a little bit. So I was like, let me just go with it. So I did the Lollipop, and I touched it into nice blue a little bit, just to make it a little bit more purpley. So I did the Lollipop, which is already a little cooler, a little purpley, the Bubblegum, which is a little warmer, and then I cooled it off even more, the Lollipop, and I dipped it with a nice blue, make it a little bit of a purple. I did all the circles. I just did all the colors on the bottom. I did the top separate, so you'll see me do the same process again later, but just in terms of the angle and how she was sitting, I did what was available to me here. So these hexagons on the side, I did the whole background and the circles. The top, it was a little bit more free. Like I said in the first video, I think I wasn't going for like solid circles. I was going for more of like a blurred, like playing with the light kind of thing with the circles. But I did the same thing where I played around with the tones. Like I got a true teal. I used a mint color from Solid Ink. And then I think I mixed the teal with like a little bit of violet to make it like a little bit more purpley. That part's not as important, but I was like, they're not all the same exact tone, so it's a little bit like, I don't know, playing with the light. I just wanted that pop of like the bluish color behind the yellow and the like warm orange tones of the sunflower, because I thought the blue, first of all, I love blue. Second of all, the blue, first of all, I love the teal. I always use the teal, and I like how the blue just like helps punch the color forward a little bit. Like it's a nice bright color. It's not too dark. And especially with the outline on the sunflowers, like you don't have to worry quite as much about like the contrast between the blue and the yellow. I still feel like I'm like, maybe I could have gone a little darker with the blue. This is like part of like my like critique of myself after, like maybe I could have gone a little darker. I don't think it needs it. Like it wasn't in the reference. I feel like it looks really pretty without it. But in terms of playing around with contrast, like I probably could have like messed with that a little bit more. But it is the background too. So the background being a little bit not a focal point, that's okay, because here the sunflowers are the darkest. That's the most striking. Like I don't really like a background that much all the time. Like I feel like some people just add dark shading, and I really don't like how it looks, so I try to avoid that at all costs. And she was hurting, so I finished up that back part of the leg by the knee ditch and everything, and I did all the circles and stuff there. I tried to finish the whole background for the back part, And then I went to the front. So because it hurt so bad, like we were towards the end, and it's just a background, it's a little more open-ended. I kind of like didn't fill in every single circle because I felt like it didn't really need it. I wasn't 100% going off the reference for this because I think for the reference I just used I used a light effect brush that made the circles slightly different tones. So it just made a lot of circles. So I feel like in the actual tattoo it didn't need all of those circles. So I just kind of like cleaned it up a little bit, simplified it a little bit, and I think it turned out exactly how I envisioned. So that's all I really needed. Then I moved back up to finish off the hexagons up top. I did a solid teal for the background, and then those like pink circles all around. I kind of, for those hexagons, I kind of have them as like a window through to the sunflower. So you can see like the teal is like supposed to be clear and the sunflower is like laid behind it. So you can see it sort of like a little blue lens. So then you see me eventually, I go in with, I don't know at what point, you see me take a little bit more of a green color. You'll see when the ink turns green on my needle. I took a little bit more of a green. I think I used lime green. I think I used like yerba for the shading of the petals, like through the lens thing that I was talking about. And then I used this like brighter green. I used a lime green, and I think I don't know if I just used mint. I used definitely a little bit of mint because it kind of has that teal look, but it's a little bit more on the green side. And I used a little bit of lime green, and I'm not sure if I mixed anything else with that. But that way, that like teal is sort of like over top of yellow. Like what would yellow look like through the teal? And that's sort of what I came up with there. And then, but when I finished that, I was like, I'm kind of missing the contrast there, because in the stencil, like in the initial design, there was like, you could see the black line work through the teal. So I was like, what would that look like? So I added a little blue outline for the petals because I didn't have the petals outlined before. Basically, that's all those little circles in the stencil were a little chaotic. So it was like, I was a little unsure of like how I wanted to execute it. And so I told her, like, if this heals and like it looks like anything like that you're not expecting, we can touch it up. But I didn't want to like just keep going till I was like 1,000% happy with it. But I was pretty happy with the effect, I think. And then especially looking back later, I'm like, this actually does like pull off exactly what I was trying to do. It could have maybe been better. I don't know. Maybe 5 years from now I could do it a lot better. But I was pretty happy. We took a little break. I was pretty happy with how it looked in general. I think this is after I finished those dark lines. I feel like you can even see now that it looks, that it looks like what I was trying to do. The contrast is a little bit, or like the saturation of this video is a little bit, maybe it's, oh, you know what? My screen on my laptop is just like the brightness is low. Because I was at my grandma's house and I forgot my charger for my laptop, and I was like, dang, I don't want to lose battery. And it almost died, but it didn't. So I was able to use it. But anyway, so I finished up the whole background for her. The background's done. The blue is all done. So the only really big thing left was the yellow. And it was just a matter of filling in around all the shading I did from the coloring in the last video. So that was like the dark greenish with the orange, and then the dark orange for like those mid-tones. And then I just hopped in with, I think, just regular yellow from Solid Ink. And it looks like crazy at first because it's so red, but I feel like you can immediately start seeing like the final form come out, and it looks super cool, especially once the blood goes away and it's like, just pops. It looks super unlike, this is like, you know, even after the butterfly was done, I started being like, oh, it's so cute, because I'm always doing that. Like, if you're a guy and you're getting tattooed by me, I'm sorry, but you're probably going to get it's cute. You know what I mean? So I definitely was like, during the yellow, she was hurting. You could probably see her squirming a little bit more. She was actually doing pretty good at keeping her legs still. And it doesn't bother me like at all. The line work is where it's like, can you really stay still? Because this is going to turn out good if you're not still. So the color's not as bad, but it was definitely getting towards like, we were in the 5th hour kind of thing. Like, it was hurting, so I was like just trying to like just get it in there. No funny business. But this is when I was just like happy. I'm like, this tattoo looks so cool, like, and I've wanted to do it for so long. This is like a style that I'm like, I would maybe call this my style. This is something that I would like to do more of. Like, if I could do stuff like this every single day, tattooing till I don't tattoo anymore, whenever like my hands can't take it or whatever, I would be so happy to do freaking sparkles and flowers and butterflies every day. So I was just having a ball getting this yellow in here. Sometimes yellow is a little bit tricky to see if it's like solid and saturated, just because it's like, you know, any light color, like the blood shows through more. It's hard to tell, like, is it patchy or is it just bloody right now? But you don't want to go over it and overwork it. But I think I did pretty good. You know, I always try to get it in there solid. And like I say to all my clients, like, if anything ever heals different than they expect, they can come in. First of all, I want to see if it's healing different than like we're expecting. You know, as someone who's like only 3 years in, I haven't gotten like decades of experience to know what works and what doesn't. I can infer from things I've learned over the years, but I can only do so much, you know what I mean? But I definitely think it was pretty solid. I probably should have done the like light pink in the butterfly after I did the yellow, because the yellow, I think I explained in a previous video, I'm pretty sure I did, the yellow will sort of like leave a cast over things. Now, it most likely, unless you like really overwork the skin, it doesn't like heal in the tattoo. Like, you can even see it's still pink, but it definitely does, like, in my experience, leave a little bit of a cast. Like, I feel like those, like, the purpley color could have been a lot brighter if I did it after the yellow, but it's kind of like a neither here nor there. And then to finish up the tattoo, the last thing was the white in the butterfly, which I do at the end, and then these twinkle stars. So if you see the stars, I've done a few things with stars, and I've learned a little bit over the years. You really want to leave like not a huge gap in the stars. Like, before I would leave a little bit bigger of a gap, but you can really get really close to the inside. Now, this had sort of like a glowy shine, like a circle, like not just a plus, like it was like white a little bit further out. So I left a little bit, but you saw right before this part where I'm doing the white of the stars, I did like a lighter brown on the inside near like the sunflower part, and I just used like just yellow just to make sure the color was going right up to that star, so that way the white doesn't have to go that far out, you know what I mean? And it still gives you like a cool effect. You don't really need a ton of white to make it look glowy. If anything, the darkness right up against the star makes it shine a little bit more. So I definitely wasn't afraid earlier when I was doing the sunflower to get right up to that line. You only want the line for the twinkle star. You don't need the glow coming straight off the line. Otherwise, it doesn't look that shiny because it's like too blended. It just looks, I don't know what it looks like. But I definitely think I'm very happy with these stars. This is, I don't know if it's one of my favorite stars, but definitely maybe one of my more successful stars. I don't know. I feel like I've had other successful stars. I'm just being critical. But I definitely think these ones are successful, and I'm really happy. I mean, they're red right now because they're fresh. You know, white always shows the blood. So before I took pictures, I definitely sat back and made sure it could bleed a little bit, and then that way there's not so much red in the white. But you can see now my little unveiling. That might not align if I cut that out where I like leaned into the camera, but my liberal application of Bactine, and that's it. Let me know what you think of this design. What type of designs do you like getting? Would you ever get a design like this? What flower would you get in this type of design? Would you get a sunflower? What's your favorite flower? All the questions. Answer them all. Answer them now. Anyway, I'm being so weird. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think. Constructive criticism only. I won't take no criticism about my clients, though. And like usual, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Follow me on my social media, mostly just Instagram. I don't know why I just say social media. I've been watching too many other YouTubers. Follow me on Instagram at Chromatic Sauce, just like it is here. And then check out my website, chromaticsauce.com. If you want to get a tattoo, you can book with me. I'll fill out my booking form. I'd love to do more stuff like this. It's so pretty. Definitely my jam. And anything else that you've been wanting, you can hit me up. I'd love to tattoo you. And if you want to go on YouTube too, even better. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. See you in the next one. Bye. Whew, it's hot in here. I wanted to have a consistent outfit for this whole video, but I was like, I can't do this sweater anymore. So I took the sweater off. But now it's just not consistent, and it's like, why is she blue in the first two and then a black shirt in the other one? And I don't know.